In the deepest corners of our world, a silent predator exists. It doesn't have claws, teeth, or even a brain. Yet it can hijack the mind of its victims, overriding their most basic instincts, erasing their identity and bending their will to its own. It is a master manipulator, a biological puppet master that hunts without ever moving. This is the story of Cordyceps, an ancient and terrifyingly effective killer that has perfected the art of turning animals into zombies. A new frontier of biology, something truly chilling that we are only just beginning to understand. Let us dive into the nightmarish world of parasitic fungi. It is a predator that doesn't hunt. In the dense, humid rainforests, Cordyceps is a stationary killer, a microscopic menace hiding in plain sight. Most animals are wired to look for danger in movement. A stalking cat, a slithering snake. Cordyceps exploits this evolutionary blind spot perfectly. It doesn't chase its prey, it waits. Its method of attack isn't a physical assault but a quiet, insidious invasion, beginning and ending with a cloud of nearly invisible spores. For an unsuspecting ant marching through the undergrowth, the danger isn't the jaguar in the trees, but the dust settling on its own back. The horror begins with a single microscopic spore landing on the tough, chitinous exoskeleton of an ant. This is the initial infection, a silent attack the host will never notice. The spore begins to germinate, releasing enzymes that dissolve the insect's protective armor. It chews a tiny, imperceptible hole and slips inside the ant's body. There are no warning signs, no immediate symptoms. The fungus has breached the fortress, and its internal conquest has begun. Inside the host, the fungus doesn't form a single mass. Instead, it spreads as a network of thread-like filaments called hyphae, weaving their way through the ant's tissues like roots through soil. This is the phase of internal colonization. The fungal network infiltrates everything. It winds through muscles, embeds itself in organs, and swims through the ant's circulatory fluid, called hemolymph. Crucially, Cordyceps does not kill its host, not yet. It needs the ant alive and mobile for its master plan. The fungus preserves the ant's vital functions while systematically taking over its body. It even avoids the brain itself, instead forming a dense mat of cells that wrap around it, like a hand gripping a control stick. From this external position, it begins to release a cocktail of neuromodulating chemicals, seizing control of the ant's behavior from the outside in. The first sign of the behavioral breakdown is confusion. The infected ant, once a perfect soldier in a superorganism, loses its ability to follow the colony's pheromone trails. It begins to wander aimlessly, twitching erratically, its movements becoming clumsy and uncoordinated. It is now an outcast, a glitch in the colony's perfect system. Its healthy sisters, sensing that something is profoundly wrong, will often forcibly exile the infected individual, dragging it away from the nest. This isolation is exactly what the fungus wants. Alone and detached from its social safety net, the ant is now completely under the parasite's control. Then comes the final, chilling command. The fungus forces the ant to abandon its normal foraging grounds on the forest floor and begin an unnatural ascent, a phenomenon scientists call summiting. Fungal chemicals flood the ant's system, hijacking its sense of balance, depth perception, and motor control. It is compelled to climb, scaling a plant stem or the underside of a leaf. The climb is not random. The fungus directs its host to a precise height, usually around 25 centimeters, where the temperature and humidity are optimal for its own reproduction. Once the perfect spot is reached, Cordyceps delivers its final instruction. The ant is forced to perform a death grip, biting down onto the leaf's central vein with convulsive or terminal force, its jaws locking permanently. The transformation after death is grotesque. The moment the death grip is secured, the fungus finally kills its host, but the body remains anchored. The parasite works quickly, consuming the ant's internal tissues for nutrients and growing structures that reinforce its legs, helping it cling to the leaf even after death. Its work inside is done. Now it prepares to reveal itself. A fruiting body, a stalk, begins to grow, pushing its way out of the ant's body. often erupting horrifically from the back of its head. This stalk is a spore factory. When it matures, it will release its payload, raining down a fresh generation of microscopic killers onto the forest floor below, ready to infect the next wave of victims. Cordyceps is not a single entity. It is a sprawling genus of over 400 known species, and each one is a specialist. This is not a one-size-fits-all parasite. There are cordyceps species that target ants, others that have evolved to prey on beetles, cicadas, spiders, or caterpillars. Each fungus is evolutionarily tailored to the specific biology and behavior of its chosen host, a testament to millions of years of a relentless evolutionary arms race. It is a stunning, if horrifying, example of extreme biological specialization, with each fungus possessing a unique chemical toolkit to manipulate its specific victim. To understand how terrifyingly effective this strategy is, we can look at other parasitic fungi. Consider Massospora, a fungus that infects cicadas. Instead of controlling movement, it alters sexual behavior. It devours the cicada's abdomen, replacing it with a chalky mass of fungal spores. The infected cicada, however, remains active, its mind filled with an insatiable urge to mate. Infected males will even mimic the wing flick signals of females to lure in other healthy males. Each attempted mating, whether with a male or female, becomes an act of transmission, dusting the healthy cicada with a cloud of spores. Or take Entomophthora, which translates to insect destroyer. This fungus infects flies and, much like Cordyceps, forces them into a final, unnatural death pose. It compels the fly to climb to a high point and position its body to maximize spore dispersal, but its method is far more explosive. After the fly dies, the fungus builds up immense hydrostatic pressure within the corpse. It then erupts violently, launching its spores from the joints and membranes like a shotgun blast, creating a cannon effect that can instantly infect any other flies nearby. So why are these fungi so brutally effective? It comes down to three key factors. First, chemical manipulation. They produce a vast and complex array of bioactive compounds that can precisely target a host's nervous system, turning it into a biological puppet. Second is evolutionary specialization. These fungi have spent millions of years refining their strategies, co-evolving with their hosts to become perfect manipulators. Finally, they possess a kind of environmental intelligence. Without a brain, they exploit and respond to humidity, temperature, airflow, and microclimates to ensure their survival. Natural selection, working over eons, has done the optimization for them, creating a predator more precise and patient than any animal. Isn't it wild that Cordyceps doesn't even need to invade the brain to take over? It actually messes with the nervous system from the outside using chemical signals. Just think about it. This could potentially work on any creature with a nervous system, right? Any living thing that runs on a mix of chemical signals. Now here's the scary part. Could these ancient fungi ever evolve to go after more complex beings? Like, could they one day make the jump to us? That's a thought that really sends chills down your spine, doesn't it? In part 1, we witnessed a fungus that masters the mind, an organism that rewrites an insect's identity, turning it into a living puppet for its own survival, a biological machine of terrifying precision. But this raises a haunting question, a question that sits at the edge of biology and fear. Could a fungus like Cordyceps ever infect us? Scientists watch the fungal kingdom with a unique kind of concern, because unlike animals, fungi do not follow the same rules of evolution. They adapt faster, they learn quicker, and their strategies are billions of years older than our own. Today, we explore the line between science and nightmare, and we ask, what would it take for the fungal kingdom to turn its attention to us? Right now, Cordyceps cannot infect humans. Our bodies are a fortress this fungus cannot breach. The first wall is fire. Human internal temperature, around 37 degrees Celsius, is a furnace for most fungal species, including Cordyceps. They are adapted to the cool-blooded physiology of insects. Our heat burns them from the inside out. The second wall is our immune system, a sentinel network far more complex than an insect's. It identifies and eradicates fungal invaders with ruthless efficiency. Where an ant's body is a simple lock, ours is a sophisticated vault. And the final wall is the brain itself. Human neural pathways are an impossibly dense map of connections, emotions, and consciousness. Cordyceps evolved to hijack the simple, instinct-driven nervous system of an insect. Our mind is a language it does not speak. But here is the unsettling truth. Evolution is not a static blueprint. It is a relentless, ongoing experiment. And given enough time, new species can emerge, new locks can be picked, and old fortresses can fall. Fungi are masters of change. Their evolution moves at a speed that makes animal adaptations seem frozen in time. A single spore can carry a new mutation. A single generation can test a new strategy. They are a kingdom of infinite trial and error. History shows us this is not theory. Fungal pathogens have jumped species before, often driven by environmental stress. When an ecosystem changes, the organisms within it are forced to adapt or die, and fungi always adapt. Each mutation is a roll of the dice, a new chemical weapon, a new survival strategy, and sometimes a new key for a new host. In the world of fungi, evolution is not just a process, it is a weapon. Global warming is not just melting ice caps and raising sea levels. It is turning our planet into a fungal incubator. Fungi thrive in heat and humidity. As the world warms, their territory expands, and as their territory expands, they evolve. Fungi that once died in the heat are now adapting to survive it. They are slowly, generation by generation, closing the temperature gap between their world and ours. Once they can tolerate the heat of a mammalian body, one of our strongest defenses vanishes. We are already seeing the consequences. A new pathogen, Candida auris, has emerged globally. Decades ago, it was harmless. Now it tolerates human body temperature, resists our best medicines, and causes deadly infections in hospitals worldwide. It learned to survive our heat. This raises a chilling question. If a simple fungus can learn to overcome our defenses, what happens when a more complex manipulator does the same? The engine of fungal evolution is fueled by moisture. Where humidity rises, fungi dominate. As we cut down forests, alter weather patterns, and disrupt ancient ecosystems, we are unintentionally creating the perfect fungal world. A world of damp, decaying matter where spores can thrive. More humidity means more fungi. More fungi means more spores. More spores mean more mutations. And more mutations mean more chances to unlock a new host. We are destabilizing the planet's systems. And in the chaos of a collapsing ecosystem, the fungal kingdom does not just survive, it flourishes. Human disruption is not weakening nature. It is strengthening our oldest and most patient competitor. The idea of behavioral manipulation is not unique to Cordyceps. Other fungi already influence mammals, though in more subtle ways. Some species trigger hallucinations, directly altering our perception of reality. Others release chemicals that modify hormone pathways, influencing appetite, sleep, and mood. The parasite Toxoplasma gondii, though not a fungus, and offers a terrifying proof of concept. It infects rats and rewires their brains, making them lose their fear of cats. It proves that a simple microbe can hijack complex mammalian behavior for its own ends. Fungi are chemical factories. They release countless compounds that can interact with the limbic system, influence neurotransmitters, and trigger stress responses in animals. The mechanism for manipulation is already there. It is not limited to insects. It is a fundamental strategy of life. Cordyceps itself will not be the threat, but could a different fungal organism, armed with similar strategies, one day evolve to target mammals? The building blocks already exist. Fungi communicate. They use chemical signals to coordinate their growth in vast hive-like networks. Mycelial webs, the underground bodies of fungi, act like primitive neural systems, processing information and responding to their environment. They can learn, adjusting their growth patterns based on a memory of past obstacles and resources. Given the right evolutionary pressures, a fungus could develop toxins compatible with a mammal's nervous system. It could evolve molecules that interact with our unique brain chemistry. It could produce spores that are resistant to heat and a mammalian immune response. This would not happen overnight. It might take thousands or millions of years. But evolution has no agenda. It does not need a plan. All it needs is an opportunity. Fungi do not have minds. They do not have intentions. And yet, their strategies appear eerily intelligent. This is because their goal is brutally simple. Spread, reproduce, survive. The mind control we see in insects is not an act of cruelty. It is an act of optimization. An infected ant climbing to a high leaf is not a victim of a monster. It is a tool, repurposed by a biological system to achieve maximum efficiency. Every manipulation, every hijacked instinct evolved for one reason. It worked. This reveals a terrifying truth. The fungal kingdom is not evil. It is not malicious. It is simply a system of survival that operates on a level of complexity humans cannot predict or fully comprehend. And its strategies are always improving. Our bodies are battle-hardened. For millions of years, mammals have fought a relentless war against bacteria and viruses. Our immune systems are designed to win that war. But we have a biological blind spot: fungi. Because our cells are so similar to fungal cells, our bodies struggle to fight them without harming themselves. It is why fungal infections are so difficult to treat. And it is why, as fungi learn to tolerate our heat, we are becoming increasingly vulnerable. The danger is not a sudden zombie apocalypse. The real danger is slower and far more plausible. It is the emergence of a new fungal kingdom, one that is better adapted to a warmer world, a world where warm-blooded animals are no longer safe. Deep beneath the forest floor, mycelial networks process information. They navigate mazes, find the shortest path to food, and share resources between trees. They store information about their environment in their physical structure, a kind of biological memory. Some scientists call this proto-intelligence. A fungus that controls behavior is not thinking. It is the product of this ancient intelligence, an intelligence that is encoded not in a brain, but in evolution itself. It is billions of years of stored data expressed through chemistry and biology. A library of survival strategies written in DNA. Cordyceps is not an anomaly. It is a masterpiece of evolution, showcasing what the fungal kingdom is capable of. It is a reminder that the line between host and puppet, between free will and biological command, is thinner than we imagine. The world is changing. The climate is warming. Ecosystems are destabilizing. And in this new world, fungal evolution is accelerating. Humanity may be entering an age where fungi evolve faster than our medicine can keep up. The fungal kingdom is ancient, powerful, and profoundly underestimated. It has shaped life on this planet for over 1 billion years, breaking down worlds and building new ones. It has triggered extinctions. It has controlled populations. It has been the silent partner in nearly every ecosystem on Earth. The zombie fungus is a message, a warning that evolution can and will create systems of control beyond our darkest fears. As our world changes, fungi will change with it. And somewhere, in the silent, humid darkness, unseen by human eyes, a new strategy is being tested. Something is always evolving, something is always learning, and somewhere a fungus is preparing its next move. If you enjoyed this video and would love to support our channel, make sure to leave a like and a comment. But most importantly, press the subscribe button to not miss a single video in the future. Thank you for watching.